Happy New Year. We're a little bit less than half into January 2020. For those of you that are joining for the first time, this channel is about all things business, more specifically, my experience with small business and whatever I can do to help you start, run, and grow your small business. Now, I've seen a lot of people, getting business shamed. I see a lot of, the motivational stuff coming out. This is the time of year for it. Motivation, fitness, healthy food, and everybody's cooking and showing you how to eat healthy. And this is the time of year for that. This, like, if they have that particular niche, this is the time that they're pushing it. But I want you to know they've been marketing and getting prepared for this way back, probably in August, right? And then you just have people that just been pushing content all year round. But this is their time where they're going to go hard in the paint because this is the time that people are working out their New Year's resolutions. People wanting the motivation to, all the motivational speakers and all of the people with motivational content. I guess I may be included in that in some sense. But I want you to know also it's about to be time to pay taxes, right? So if you made money last year with your business, you started your business last year and you picked the business structure, LLC, S Corp, you may have just done a full-fledged corporation. I don't know. You got your EIN, you trademarked, you may have paid for a lawyer for some advice to type up some paperwork. They may have helped you file the paperwork with the state for your LLC. Who knows? All of that stuff is write-offs. Now, some of you are stepping into the new year from spending all of last year or however many years you spent researching and honing the skills that you'll need to run your business. And so you may be stepping into this year about to start it. So the tax thing doesn't really, apply to you at this point, but it will next year around this time. So keep track of your time, keep track of your money that you're spending, and keep track, obviously, of the money that you're getting. So if you're selling products, services, whatever, and you're actually bringing in some money and you thinking to yourself, well, this is just free money here. Know that it'll be a time that you'll want to scale up and scale your business up. You'll want to grow your business at some point. And if you are always showing losses, you're showing that this business is always losing money. Who's going to want to give money to a losing, to a losing business? So at some point, you're going to have to show some profit. And at some point, you're going to have to pay taxes on that profit. There's a lot of different ways to minimize the tax shock, and that comes from being responsible with the money. Most people is just one person, two people, five people, 10 people, and they will split that money in between themselves and go on about their business. They don't care about scaling up, or they don't think that they care about scaling up until it's time to start scaling up and growing that business. And then they're like, that paperwork shows something different. And now you have to maybe make some weird choices where, some people begin being dishonest and things. And all it takes is one time. All it takes is one time to begin to get into the habit of that. If you're already a dishonest person and you don't care, this doesn't apply to you. But if you begin, I just call it what it is, cooking them books. You begin cooking them books and lying and finagling and doing this, it will come back on you. Okay? It will. It will come back on you. And you won't grow and thrive the way that you truly should. Now, I'm not telling you to not use a CPA and not take the tax breaks and not take the stuff that's available to you. Legally available. It's a lot legally available to you. I'm not telling you not to take those shortcuts, the legal ones. Do those. Don't begin lying and cooking them books, withholding this and withholding that. It will catch up to you. And in some instances, your behind can end up in prison. right? So something really, really small now. As a matter of fact, I was looking at American Greed, and older gentleman. I can't remember the exact name of this guy anyway, but it was one thing that he did, and because of that one false thing that he did, that thing followed him for decades to come, and eventually that one thing that he did way back in the beginning is what took him down. And it's so sad because they do the interviews from jail. You can hear they're on the jail phone and he's talking to the reporters or whatever, talking to the person doing American Greed, and that's exactly what he said. I wish I can tell you the name. When I get off of here, I'll link it in the description box. I can't remember. Is it it's financial something, Ponzi scheme type deal, but he actually had a good thing going. If he just would have waited and been a little bit more patient, it wasn't his year to do it. If he just would have waited, I think it's something where he had to have 200 and some thousand to qualify to do the certain thing that he was doing, and he fudged it. He fudged it like he had it, but he didn't have it. And that one fudge, like the business prospered, he went on. Oh. Online investment, like the Ameritrade type stuff. It's still not ringing a bell exactly what this man's name is. But anyway, I mean, obviously you're gonna do whatever it is you're gonna do, right? But I encourage you to not do the wrong stuff. Trust me, it is a lot of legal loopholes that you will be amazed. You will be amazed that will save you thousands of dollars, right? Legal things that you can do. Talk to a CPA. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to people that have money. Don't talk to unethical people though. Talk to someone that is honest, and is doing it the right way. And they will be able to tell you. They'll be able to give you some advice. So going forward, don't cheat on your taxes. Sit up there and expense yourself down, and then now it's time to actually scale up and grow your business. And what your IRS statement, what your tax statements are showing is that you're always taking a loss. So even if you're talking to me, talking to just a regular individual, like, hey, Kat, I want you to, let's come on and start this. I already have this cleaning company. I want to scale up. I want to, get another location. I want to do some more stuff. I want to hire more people. I need 10 grand. I'm like, okay, let me think about it. Let me see some paperwork. Let me see your business plan. Let me check out your past tax returns. I'm looking through that information. I see loss. I'm like, why would I get this person $10,000? They gonna lose my money too. Like, no, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. That's what I'm gonna say. And then I'm also gonna look at even if I'm just gonna look at everything anyway. I don't willy-nilly give my money away. I do like to invest, but I don't like to willy-nilly give my money away. I'm gonna look at your balance sheets. I'm gonna look and see if you fudge stuff, if you lying on there. And because I've worked and done taxes and prepared taxes and I know stuff about taxes, I'm gonna know. Once I get to looking through that paperwork and I see that you're on there lying, that's even bigger than you losing money. I might can take the money loss, like, okay, well, maybe if I can get my money in here, and maybe I say, okay, I'll give you some money, and then I also want this position so I can come in here and try to rearrange and help. I can negotiate you losing money. I can't negotiate you straight lying to me though. Okay. So going forward, think very, very critically about this, because you may miss out on some big opportunities thinking you cutting corners here and there, and this temporary 10,000 or 5,000 or whatever you saving. It could be, substantial money. It could be hundreds of $1,000s that you think you're saving or you think you're cutting corners with. And then that little bit that you do, blocks you from 10 million, blocks you from 100 million later on down the line because of this little bitty thing that you've done. It may seem little, but it'll grow into a giant. And I mean, ultimately, you're going to do what you want to do. People think, oh, well, of course you're going to be honest. You know what? You have CPAs, you have people that have been dishonest all their life, and then they'll tell you the wrong information. They'll give you the wrong information, and you'll think that this person knows what they're talking about. There's all types of different scenarios with this. You may have your actual accountant that's shady, okay? And that's why everyone loves them, because they're shady, right? And they're like, okay, yeah, do this, do that. You're like, there's something, let me get a second opinion on this. Something. You better look at it. You better check it out, especially if it doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right in your guts. Okay. You may not know all of the ins and outs of accounting formulas and this and that and how they come up with this and that, but you're giving them your books. You're giving them, okay, I made this much in cash and credits, and this is, accounts receivable, accounts pay. This is all of my information. Please just go through it. But you should know what that information says, and you should have a general idea of what you owe and things like that. You can literally Google that yourself. As far as making your employee, when you're first, it's all up to you now. But when you're first starting out, I always kind of like to sit on the sidelines. I don't like to take a salary. I will use the company's or my business expense account to pay for expenses related to the business. And I consider myself related to the business. So without me, the business doesn't run. So all of my expenses are part of the business. Now people might say, oh, well, that's a lie. You paying your bills and stuff. First of all, it's my business. Second of all, my bills, my bills are paid. So what I would be expensing would be phones and rental cars and things, office equipment, things related to the business. Still, again, I'm related to the business. Without me, the business doesn't run, right? So people have different opinions on that, but expensing myself out for the bare minimum versus paying myself a salary, and then having to pay income tax on that salary. For me personally, in certain projects, it works better. Okay. And then again, I don't want to be the forefront of everything. I don't need to have my name plastered all over everything. I can sit on the sidelines and play like I'm a good employee. Like, okay, well, who's the owner? Well, you got to check that out. You have to look and dig through the paperwork, because I try my hardest to keep my anonymity, and as it relates to certain projects and certain business things that I do. Certain things, it doesn't bother me, right? It all leads back to me. If you're a good enough researcher, you'll figure out it's all me. But the way I've structured things is exactly like these big time people structure things. Because eventually I want to just fade away. I just want to fade away. Okay. Now, if you don't mind being the forefront, the face, the everything for your business, go ahead, do you. This is just a personal choice that I've made. So we into a new tax year, and I encourage you to be honest, be ethical. Do what you need to do, because that stuff will come back and bite you on the butt. I don't want to do reviews of your American Greed series. I don't want to see you guys on American Greed. I don't want to see anyone in prison and, having to fake their deaths and all of this crazy stuff. Once you work hard and lay this foundation, do what you're supposed to do, Even if it's a bunch of taxes you have to pay, you guys, if you structure it right, you'll be making so much money, you won't even feel it. Okay. And just know that your tax money goes to an array of different things, from schools to paying for, to public service, everything. Okay. If you have a physical brick and mortar store or stores or locations, that community to improve that community. So you should want that, because an improved community, a good community, means that your business should thrive. You should want to be involved in communities, especially you're there. You are reaping the benefits of that community, reaping the benefits of its inhabitants. So go forward and be honest. If it's just not in you, it's just not in you. But I would encourage you to do that, because that stuff will come back and bite you. And I'm gonna link that American Greed. I'm just gonna link the whole American Greed series so you can check it out. That way you can look at them people and not say, oh, well, this is how they got caught and I would never have done. No, look at them people and say, I would never do none of this stuff. Okay. You may have to wait to scale up or grow your business, right? Because stuff is just not lined up right now. That's the part about being patient. So instead of trying to rush and lie and cheat and connive and then justify it by saying, well, this is what everybody else is doing, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. What are you going to do? Right? Everybody else doesn't have to live your life, and you don't have to live everybody else's life. You get it? So until next time, I hope everything you touch turns to gold.